The rain was falling softly over a small seaside town in the south of England. The streets were quiet, and the sky was a pale grey colour that seemed to stretch endlessly above the houses. The air smelled fresh and cold, mixed with the scent of the sea that was never far away. Waves moved slowly against the shore, making a gentle sound that blended with the distant voices of people walking through the town centre. In one small café near the harbour, the windows were slightly fogged from the warm air inside. Soft light came from hanging lamps, and wooden tables stood neatly across the room. People were speaking quietly, sipping tea or coffee, and watching the rain outside, as if they had nowhere else to be. A young woman named Lily sat near the window. She was 25, with calm eyes and a tired but gentle face. She wore a simple grey coat and held a warm cup of tea in both hands. The steam rose slowly and disappeared into the air above her. Lily had come to the seaside town for a short break. Her life in London had become too busy, too loud, and too fast. Every day felt the same: work, meetings, messages, noise, and crowded trains. She had forgotten what silence felt like. So she decided to come here, where the world moved more slowly. Outside, the sea was moving in soft, steady waves. The water was dark blue and grey under the cloudy sky. Seagulls flew low above the shore, calling out as the wind carried them across the beach. A few people walked along the pier with their coats pulled tightly around them. Everything looked calm, even though the weather was cold. Inside the café, Lily looked out of the window and watched the rain. Drops slowly ran down the glass, forming thin lines that crossed each other like small rivers. She felt peaceful for the first time in a long while. The door of the café opened with a soft bell sound. A young man walked in, shaking rain from his jacket. He looked slightly lost, as if he had been walking without a clear direction. His name was Oliver. He had dark hair that was damp from the rain, and a thoughtful expression on his face. He looked around the café for a moment, before noticing the empty seat opposite Lily's table. There were no other free places. "Is this seat taken?" he asked politely. Lily shook her head. "No, you can sit here." Oliver smiled lightly and sat down. He placed his hands around a cup of coffee that had just been given to him by the waitress. The warmth of the cup slowly filled his cold fingers. For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. The sound of rain outside filled the silence. It was not an uncomfortable silence. It felt natural, like the calm moment between two waves in the sea. Lily looked at him gently. "You look like you've been walking in the rain for a long time." Oliver laughed softly. "Yes, I think I lost track of time." "Where were you going?" she asked. He paused for a moment. "Nowhere special. Sometimes I just walk." Lily nodded, as if she understood. "I do that too." Outside, the wind moved across the harbour, pushing small waves against the wooden posts. The sky became a little darker, but the café felt warm and safe. The smell of coffee and fresh bread filled the air. Oliver looked out of the window. "It's a beautiful place, even in this weather." Lily followed his gaze. "Yes, it feels quiet in a good way." They both watched the sea for a while. The waves continued their slow movement, never stopping, always returning. After a few minutes, Oliver spoke again. "Do you live here?" "No," Lily said. "I'm just visiting. I needed a break from London." Oliver nodded slowly. London can feel very full. "Yes," she said quietly. "Too full sometimes." A small smile appeared on Oliver's face. "I understand that." The conversation slowly became easier. They talked about small things. The weather, the sea, the difference between big cities and quiet towns. The simple topics felt light, like they did not need effort. Outside, the rain began to slow down. The sky started to change slightly, becoming lighter near the horizon. A soft glow appeared above the water, as if the day was slowly trying to end peacefully. Inside the cafe, Lily felt something she had not felt in a long time. Not excitement. Not sadness. Something softer. A calm feeling of being present in a moment without pressure. Oliver stirred his coffee slowly. "Sometimes I think people forget how to slow down," he said. Lily looked at him. "I think we just get used to not slowing down." He nodded. "Maybe." A quiet pause followed. It was comfortable again. Outside, a seagull landed near the harbour wall, standing still for a moment before lifting into the air again. Lily finished her tea slowly. "I like this place," she said. Oliver smiled. "Me too. It feels like time is moving differently here." When Lily stood up to leave, the rain had almost stopped. The street outside looked cleaner, as if the world had been washed gently. The air smelled fresh and cold, and the sea sounded calmer now. "Maybe I'll see you again," Oliver said without much expectation. Lily smiled politely. "Maybe." She stepped outside into the soft evening air. The town felt peaceful around her, and for the first time in a long while, she did not feel rushed. Behind her, the cafe door closed gently, and the sound of the sea continued in the distance, steady and endless.